Now, there are so many reasons why people can call it overparenting, because overparenting is simply and exactly that. You are a parent, you've succeeded in parenting, and now you're over there trying to add accolades to something that is already working. And simple things will show you that you're overparenting. Very simple, small things, because sometimes I'm not a parent, but I have been overparented, or I have experienced some of my friends being overparented. How is it that you are 20 years old and you have to, like clockwork, have to go home? It doesn't matter what is happening on that day, whether you have 50 dates, you have to cancel your dates. Every single Friday, lazima ukwe nyumbani. For what reason? And then sometimes you get there and the parents aren't even there. They're pretty much doing their own things, living their own lives. Why is that a thing? How is that something that is prevalent in your family? You know, these things, these are what we call overparenting and signs and symptoms of overparenting. And Turi, I see you laughing because I feel like you're relating.
Yes, because especially, let me just call out very religious backgrounds. You know, if you were raised in a very religious household, you know that there are things you had to do, even if they didn't make sense to you, but simply because your parents said so. And that is overparenting, you know? Like, you have to go home, you can't come home after 9:30, ulale uko.
Ulale wapi?
I mean, sorry, there's traffic, you know? It's just too much, but let's get into it.
All right, and those are some of the extreme examples of overparenting, but some of them aren't as extreme. And we can see that there are different styles of parenting which can lead to you being an overparent, as in to you overparenting. And some of these things are first from understanding the kind of parent that you are. Now, there are different styles of parenting which have been, you know, researched, and people have come with the actual status of parenting. And they're usually like about 4, but yeah, they're actually usually 4. There is an authoritative parent, there is an authoritarian, we have the neglectful, and the indulgent. And all of these can lead to that extreme. And we talk about it like, I know, it's just my child, why can I not? And this will happen a lot, especially with like indulgent parents. So you'll find like an over-indulgent parent is always willing to allow you to do anything. You decide you will not come home for 2 days, you're like, no, they're just a teenager. It's like just how they live their lives now. You're over there consuming all the data, they're constantly refueling Wi-Fi, because that's how it works. Anyway, they're constantly over there, you know, begging and being very snotty when it comes to the connection. Like, Mom, the connection's not working. Why? Because, you know, I want to talk to my friends. I have to be on Snapchat. Like, who told you have to be on Snapchat?
Mamito actually did a video, a very funny video about indulgent parents, you know? A child who comes and says, Mami, nataka kuchapa auntie. And then, wacha mtoto wa kuchape ndio asilie. Wacha mtoto wa kufanyia hivi. Imagine, this kid even takes like a pole, like like a metal pole. He wants to chapa auntie, just so the kid feels, you know, special, and he can do anything. You know, we're not saying, let me just say, there's no one way of parenting.
There is no right way of
parenting. Children are different, backgrounds are different. However, we will call you out when you're doing something funny,
when
you know?
It's excessive.
Exactly, when you're indulging your child in things they shouldn't be doing, you know? You cannot be calling your son kababa and he's 30 years old. You know? Ati kababa umekula breakfast. He is a 30-year-old man who should even be starting his own family. But, you know, mama's boy doing the most. You actually called out somebody, but we're not going to do that again.
Okay, let's not do it again. But yeah, this happens a lot as well. And we think it's just from you being a parent, but you being in a parental role, because that's where we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about our own experiences.
Okay.
There are some instances where you, as the eldest sister, have been given the roles of parenting. Now kachiwa, take it and run with it however you want to run with it. And unfortunately, because you're also not sure, you feel like the only way to address an issue, to sort out an issue, is to just give and give and give and give. And I can tell you from my own experience, you end up giving so much of yourself, you lose yourself to the mix. Because like it's nature. You get to 18, you're supposed to start feeling like an adult. If you're not feeling like an adult, it's a problem. If you're making someone else avoid adulting, it's a problem. And we do it a lot as big sisters. Or nitumie food. How are you 25 and asking me to send you money for food because did you not know you were going to eat at some point? Did you not know? How is this a decision you have realized now at 10 o'clock in the night that you wanted to eat? You couldn't have called me earlier in the day, for example. You couldn't have told me earlier so that I can be able to manage my finances as well. Buy the food for you to have at home, such that you're not calling me randomly. Where am I supposed to suddenly grow my money tree and get some coins and send to you? It doesn't work like that. And those are some of the symptoms of overparenting from siblings. You will see big brothers who don't even allow the sisters to go out and date other people. Why? Because it's just, no, she's my, I just see her as my little sister. Akanika sister kangu. Sister yako, when is she going to get married? And then now she turns 30 and you're like, ay, kwani haolewi. It's because you have blocked every chance she's had to see other people. And now I'm digressing and I'm complaining. We were talking about the indulgent or the permissive parent, such that, as Turi has given you an example, you're going to someone's house and the way their child acts, you want to pinch them. You're like, I know it's child abuse right now, but like I would smack this child's face blue-black because they're acting a fool. A child who, in the middle of a conversation with adults, comes to you and they're like, Mama, natka. You're like, just go use the toilet. Why are you coming to announce it in front of all these people? And this is a grown child, as in a child who knows where the toilet is, where the toilet paper is. In case they need anything, they can let you know. Some of these things are too much. Like a child at the supermarket, and I know I'm not shaming mothers because I know 100%. And yes, sometimes a kid is just going through things and there's nothing you can do about it. You just indulge them. But in some cases, it's really just overparenting. As in, you get into a supermarket and a child is literally going to roll on the floor crying because you didn't get them candy.
Who? I actually remember the first time that happened to me. Because I had never, because of the pandemic and whatnot, I hadn't actually had the chance to like go to the mall with my child. So the first time I went to him, with him, I think he just got overstimulated. There's a lot going on. You're feeling frustrated. So he started doing the most. But immediately in my mind, I'm like, you cannot be that type of parent.
The path.
Exactly. So, because the minute you give in to these demands, immediately he'll be doing that anytime you're outside.
Thank you.
So that first day, it was difficult for me. I felt so heartbroken, but I was like, if you're not going to behave, we are going home right this minute. I even like took to my social media and was like, there should be just a silent proof, a soundproof room in the mall where parents just go and just give your child the business. And then you come out, all of you are renewed and behaved, and you can go on with your day. Because that day I just cancelled everything and was like, if you cannot behave, if you cannot be civil with each other, we are going home.